There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. Part of this naturalness, this very ceremony, a ceremony which many have eagerly anticipated, while still many have viewed it with a sense of trepidation. Whatever it may have been, naturally, the moment is upon us, and it demands a celebration, because despite all the odds, we've endured. And guess what? We made it. So audience, join me as I say, congratulations to us all. Boy, aren't we a bunch of awesomeness. Honorable Emmeline Pierre, Minister for Education, Human Resource and Development, and Religious Affairs, Parliamentary Representative, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and Legal Affairs, Honorable Kindra Maturin-State, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Ms. Ralda Cormina, Manager of Bishop's College and feature speaker, Archdeacon Marshall, Area Education Officer, Ms. Rosalina Lender, and members of the District 1 team, Anglican priest, Canon Henderson Guy, and members of Bishop's College governing body, Acting Principal of Bishop's College, Ms. Indra Scott, principals of various schools, teachers, parents, presenters of awards, well-wishers, graduating class of 2018, members of the media, a pleasant good afternoon. It was all up to us to make this moment a reality. From the day forward, where I saw desk drummers became soca artist performers, an ironically charismatic figure became the featured journalist, Mr. Donovan. The bragging ones became skilled athletes, and of course, a bunch of multi-ethnic kids who became one big family. In all, this important step will not be easily forgotten. And though at this stage, most of us may have already chosen our desirable path, will still be that inseparable, omnipresent force. We've completed another basic education level that will serve as the qualified platform we'd use to launch ourselves into our future. No matter where or what we have chosen to do next, it is now our responsibility to maneuver our lives along the best route. Most commencement speakers, they'll get up here and talk in the future tense. Or they'll be like, you will succeed. You will make us proud. You will change the world. And you are the future. But I'm not going to say that, because we are not the future. We are the present. Remember that. We are succeeding. We are making everyone in this nation proud. We are changing the world. And it is our choice to keep changing the world and to keep making our nation proud. The task may seem intricate, but remember, even at this moment, everything's a learning process. Talking about learning, for sure everyone here has at least done one silly thing, or at least made one little mistake before they can get where they are today. Take us, class of 2018, for example. We weren't the most perfect, flawless class in the world. Of course, as any typical class, there'd be the times when we had to make trips around the school for being noisy, or talk the life out of a teacher where we knew we were going to receive a pop quiz, or devise the world overused lie when we forgot to do our homework. Miss Osa, I forget it, homie. Or probably go hitting a teacher in the head with a bottlecock, which resulted in several days of FBI SUV detective cross-examination. And audience, to be honest with you all, the list continues. So I know you all probably say now, yeah, we are bad set, we only playing Saint when we're ready, yeah? But to explain this, with every action, there's a cause and effect, a consequence to every immoral doing. And school helped to reinforce our understanding that as young and inexperienced we are, the boundary between being well-disciplined and obstinate must never be blurred. These mistakes are what helped us to be human, to understand what the world will be like, and how we are going to keep on changing it for the greater good. Fellow graduates, one question. We all here have a dream, right? The doctors, the teachers, the pilots, the engineers, etc. And that's perfect. But word of advice? Always expect challenges ahead of us. Life isn't a bed of roses. There'll be the times in our lives when we'll be challenged, when nothing seems to be going right, when tragedy strikes and we'll be left to pick up the pieces. In those times, we need to be strong and never give up. Remember to never put limits on everything you do, physical or anything else. There are no limits, only plateaus that we must go beyond. We must look over to the dark side and say, hey, yo, not today, not ever, nah. And as the Japanese proverb puts it, fall 7 times, but get up 8. That is true success. Dear friends, Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there's an appointed time for everything, and there's a time for every event under heaven. I mention this to say, don't pressure yourselves to make life hard while you're young, because everything has its own timing under the sun. Have faith and strive for excellence in every task, whether great or minute. For every accomplishment we achieve is added somewhere to the world's record. Truly, we've endlessly worked hard to get to this point, but we didn't do it ourselves, right? We owe a huge debt of gratitude to the Almighty God. He gave us the life up until this very second, ensuring that we had the strength to carry out our tasks each day. Even though sadly some of us didn't have the opportunity to see this day, He alone knows the best for us. To our teachers, thank you for readily sharing 8 and more hours each weekday, giving us your knowledge and talents. Yes, it was your job, but what was done for us went beyond the call of duty. You offered us extra classes after school and during holidays, when that time could have been used to sit at home, or, I don't know, probably to relax on Paradise Beach. You listened to our demands most of the time, and made lessons more interesting so we didn't just tune out, and demanded excellence from us whether we were in the mood or not. To our parents and guardians, boy, thank you for supporting us in more ways than we can count. You dragged us out of bed each morning, made sure we're fed and clothed for school. You herded us out of the door to the bus stop or drove us to school yourselves. You commiserated over our daily dramas, but tried to give us enough space to learn how to resolve conflict on our own. These are just a few of the thousands of ways you've supported us on our journey. To our principal and acting principal, thank you for sharing the best advice each assembly morning, or issuing the necessary punishment when we're falling out of line. And to Miss Kwamina, boy, you're just, I don't know how words could put this, but speaking from the heart, you're just simply the best. The best. Yes. To our custodial and auxiliary staff, thank you for making sure that our school's environment was that safe and healthy environment that would stimulate learning each day. And you can see here in the audience, there are at least a dozen people who supported us in more than a dozen ways. The best way we graduates can show our gratitude to you is to make the most of our opportunity we've been given and venture into the world with the intention of making it a better place for the generations that follow us. Finally, fellow graduates, You all were a tough one, to be honest. But still, we need to thank each other for being the kids we were. Each one of us had our own unique personality that provided a sense of humor and brightened the gloomy days, especially when one of us waltzed in on a Monday or Tuesday morning full with the burden of stress. I mean, despite the small class fights and disputes we have had amongst each other, never one day were the links holding us together ever being broken. Boy, I want to cry for this one, but, thank you. The late Bob Marley stated, "The greatness of a man is not how much wealth he acquires, but in the integrity and ability to affect those around him positively." So my challenge to the 54 of us is to pursue our passion, reach our fullest potential, and have greatness in our both hands. Remember the school motto, leadership through discipline and knowledge. And most importantly, let us go confidently in the directions of our dreams and let God be our only guide. I thank you.